Welcome to Statistics Made Simple, and I am Savita Valsang. In this video, I'll explain the fourth measure of central tendency, that is the geometric mean, and we'll also find solutions to problems based on it and discuss some of its merits and demerits. Let's start with the definition of the geometric mean, which is an important question. The geometric mean of n values is the nth root of the product of the values. It is denoted by gm, that is gm is equal to nth root of x1 into x2 so on xn. Starting with the computation procedure of the geometric mean for raw data in the first subdivision, I'll start by saying let x1, x2 so on xn be n observations. Consider gm equal to x1 into x2 so on xn whole to the power of 1 by n. Using two properties based on the logarithms which are mentioned in the purple colored box and taking logarithms on both sides, I get log gm is equal to log of x1 into x2 into x3 so on xn whole to the power of 1 by n, which is equal to 1 by n log of x1 into x2 so on xn, which is equal to 1 by n into log x1 plus log x2 plus log x3 plus so on plus log xn. Now the numerator can be written in terms of summation. So doing that, I get the next step as log gm is equal to summation log x divided by n. When the logarithms goes to the right hand side, it is called as the anti-log. So gm is equal to anti-log of summation log x divided by n. So for all the problems based on raw data, we'll use the formula gm is equal to antilog of summation log x divided by small n, where n stands for the number of observations. The previous steps are only an understanding or an explanation as to how we reach the formula of the geometric mean. Let's move on to the second subdivision as to how to compute the geometric mean for discrete data. Let x1, x2, so on xn be n observations with f1, f2, so on fn as their corresponding frequencies. Then using a similar explanation, we can reach this formula of the geometric mean for discrete data, that is gm is equal to antilog summation f log x divided by capital N, where capital N is equal to sum of the frequencies, that is equal to summation f. Third subdivision, for continuous data, let x1, x2, so on xn be the midpoints of n class intervals with f1, f2, so on fn as their corresponding frequencies. Then the geometric mean is given by gm is equal to antilog summation f log x divided by capital N, where capital N is equal to summation f. So the formula of the geometric mean for discrete data and continuous data are the same. Problems. Problem 1. Find the geometric mean of 4 and 16. Now in this problem, since only two values are given, we'll use a different formula. That is, under solution, right, we know that gm is equal to root of a into b. So this formula is used to calculate the geometric mean when we have only two values. So geometric mean is equal to root of 4 into 16, which is root 64, or geometric mean is equal to 8. Such a kind of problem is important. Problem 2. Find the geometric mean of 1, 5 and 25. So starting with the solution, we know that gm is equal to, now because three values are given, the formula is cube root of a into b into c. So which is equal to cube root of 1 into 5 into 25, which is equal to cube root of 125. From the calculator, you can get the value as 5. Therefore, GM is equal to 5. So please keep in mind that when we have only two values in the raw data, you can use the formula of the geometric mean as GM equal to root of AB. And when we have three values in the raw data, and if we have to calculate the geometric mean, you can use the formula GM is equal to cube root of A into B into C. And please learn to use the calculator to compute the square root and the cube root. Make a note of the following 2 points. The geometric mean formula in problems 1 and 2 can be used when we need to compute the geometric mean for 2 and 3 values respectively. When we have 4 or more values in the data, we use the formula of the geometric mean for raw data as indicated in problems 3 and 4. Problem 3. Find the geometric mean of 9, 15, 25.6 and 32.47. So the given data is raw data. Let us form a table. So under solution, in the first column, the x values are 9, 15, 25.6, 32.47. Now we need to find out log x. So from the calculator, you can calculate the log values and take 4 places after the decimals after rounding off. So the values are 0.9542, 1.1761, 1.4082, 1.5115. So summation log x is equal to 5.0500. Now write the formula of the geometric mean for raw data. Consider GM equal to antilog summation log x by n, which is equal to antilog of 5.0500 divided by 4, which is equal to antilog of 1.2625. For the final answer, you can take 2 places after the decimal after rounding off. So we get the geometric mean as 18.30. Problem 4. Find the geometric mean of 95, 100, 125.2, 139.45 and 145. Under solution, list down the x values and in the second column, find out log x. So we have the x values as 95, 100, 125.2, 139.45 and 145. Their corresponding log values for 4 places after the decimal after rounding off are 1.9, 777, 2, 2.0976, 2.1, 444, 2.1614. So summation log x is equal to 10.3811. Consider GM equal to antilog of summation log x by n, which is equal to antilog of 10.3811 divided by 5, since there are 5 observations, which is equal to antilog of 2.0762, or the geometric mean is equal to 119.18. Problem 5. Calculate the geometric mean for the following distribution. The x values are 2.5, 3.2, 12, 14.67, 19.3 and 20.03. The frequencies are 12, 19, 23, 36, 14 and 4. So the given data is discrete data. Now the first step is to calculate n, capital N, which is the sum of the frequencies, which is equal to 108. Now let's form 2 more columns which I have indicated in pink color, that is log x and f log x. So the log x values are 0.3979, 0.5051, 1.0792, 1.1664, 1.2856 and 1.3021. The f log X values are 4.7748, 9.5969, 24.8216, 41.9904, 17.9984, and 5.2084. Summation f log x is equal to 104.3905. Please be careful when you're calculating log x and f log x values. Starting with the solution, write consider gm equal to antilog of summation f log x by capital N, which is equal to antilog of 104.3905 divided by 108, which is antilog of 0.9666, or gm is equal to 9.26. Problem 6. Obtain the geometric mean for the following distribution. The x values are 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, and their frequencies are 7, 12, 15, 11, 8, and 9. So compute capital N, which is equal to 60. The log x values are 0.6989, 1.1761, 1.3979, 1.5441, 1.6532, and 1.7074. F log x values are 4.8923, 14.1132, 20.9865, 16.9851, 13.2256, 12.1828. So you get summation f log x as 82.3675. So write the formula of the geometric mean under solution. Consider gm equal to antilog summation f log x by capital N, which is equal to antilog of 82.3675 divided by 60, which is equal to antilog of 1.3728, or gm is equal to 23.59. Problem 7. Find the geometric mean for the following distribution. The class intervals are 2.0 to 2.1, 2.1 to 2.2, 2.2 to 2.3, 2.3 to 2.4, and 2.4 to 2.5. The frequencies are 27, 33, 39, 30, 24. Let's calculate capital N, which is equal to 153. Now, since the class intervals are given, we need to find out the midpoints, which are denoted by x, then form the columns log x and f log x. So totally you need to form 3 columns as I've indicated in pink color. So the x values are 2.05, 2.15, 2.25, 2.35, and 2.45. So how do we find out the midpoint? It is the lower limit plus the upper limit divided by 2. Calculate log x values 0.3118, 0.3324, 0.3522, 0.3711, 0.3892. F log x values are 8.41186, 10.9692, 13.7358, 11.133, 9.3408. So summation f log x is equal to 53.5974. Under solution, write the formula of the geometric mean for continuous data, that is, consider gm equal to antilog summation f log x divided by capital N, which is equal to antilog of 53.5974 divided by 153, which is equal to antilog of 0.3503. Therefore, gm is equal to 2.24. Problem 8. Calculate the geometric mean for the following distribution. The class intervals are 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34, and 35 to 39. The frequencies are 4, 8, 12, 9, 7, and 3. Now calculate capital N, which is equal to 43. Now observe that the class intervals are in the inclusive form, And the next important step is to find out the class intervals in the exclusive form. That is, we have to obtain the modified class intervals. So the modified class intervals are 9.5 to 14.5, 14.5 to 19.5, 19.5 to 24.5, 24.5 to 29.5, 29.5 to 34.5, and 34.5 to 39.5. Now find out the midpoints x, that is 12, 17, 22, 27, 32, and 37. The log x values are 1.0792, 1.2304, 1.3424, 1.4314, 1.5051, and 1.5682. F log x values are 4.3168, 9.8432, 16.1088, 12.8826, 10.5357, 4.7046. And you get summation f log x as 58.3917. Under solution, start with consider GM equal to antilog summation f log x by capital N, which is equal to antilog of 58.3917 divided by 43, which is equal to antilog of 1.3579, or GM is equal to 22.79. Problem 9 and problem 10 are important as they are of a different kind. Problem 9. An economy grows at the rate of 2% in the first year, 2.5% in the second year, 3% in the third year, and 4% in the fourth year. What is the average rate of growth of the economy? So for this problem, let us form a table and then go ahead with the calculations. So in the first column, we'll have percentage economy rise and list down the values as given in the problem as 2, 2.5, 3 and 4. Now in the second column, we'll find out the percentage economy rise at the end of the year. So since the values are given in terms of percentage, we will add the value 2 to 100 and we get the value in the second column as 102. So similarly, to get the second value 200, we add 2.5 and you get 102.5. Then we have 103 and 104. So the values in the second column are the percentage economy rise at the end of the year, and these are denoted as x. So since we have only the x values given and we are asked to find out the average rate of growth of the economy, so we always use the geometric mean. So in the third column, find out the log x values, which are 2.0086, 2.0107, 2.0128, 2.0170, and you get summation log x as 8.0491. Now under solution, write the formula of the geometric mean. GM is equal to antilog of summation log x divided by small n, which is equal to antilog of 8.0491 divided by 4, which is equal to antilog of 2.0123, or GM is equal to 102.87. The final conclusion is as written in purple color. Therefore, the average percentage rate of growth of the economy is 102.87 minus 100, which is equal to 2.87%, or you can just write 2.87. Problem 10. The population of the city increases at the rate of 10%, 20% in 2 successive years, and in the next year it decreased at the rate of 5%. Find the average rate of growth of the population. So the first column we'll title it as percentage rise or fall in the population. The rise is indicated by the upward arrow in blue color, and the decrease is denoted by the down arrow in purple color, and the values are 10, 20 and 5. So population at the end of the year is first is 110. So to 100 you add 10 and you get 110, and for the second year it is 120. Again use the same technique, that is 100 plus 20 equal to 120. Because for the first 2 years there is an increase, to 100 we are adding the values 10 and 20. But for the third year it has decreased at the rate of 5%. So from 100 we subtract 5 and we get the value as 95. So in the second column the population at the end of the year are 110, 120, 95, which are marked as X. The next step is to find out the log X values, that is 2.0414, 2.0792, 1.9777, and summation log X is equal to 6.0983. Under solution, write the formula. Consider GM equal to antilog summation log X by N, which is equal to antilog of 6.0983 divided by 3, which is equal to antilog of 2.0328, or GM is equal to 107.84. Therefore, the average rate of growth of the population is 107.84 minus 100, which is equal to 7.84%. Let us now learn the merits, demerits, and use of the geometric mean. So some of the merits of the geometric mean are: it is rigidly defined with a mathematical formula, and it is based on all observations, and it is also capable of further algebraic treatment. The demerits of the geometric mean are: it is not easy to understand and it's not simple to calculate, as we have to find out the logarithmic values for all the observations, and it cannot be used in deep statistical analysis, and it cannot be computed if any of the observations are zero or negative. The use of the geometric mean is, as you've seen in the 9th and 10th problem, it is used to find the rate of change of growth. The geometric mean problems involve a lot of calculations, so practice the problems and be careful while doing the computations. Thank you for watching, and in my next video, we'll learn the last measure of central tendency, that is the harmonic mean.